So I made a purchase today and I'm really excited to test this foundation. I really love Chanel foundations and I've been using Chanel foundations for a long time, but I stopped using Chanel foundations and then I started using other different types of foundations. But I saw this one and I was really intrigued and really excited to try this foundation. And this is the Les Beiges Foundation, which is a healthy glow foundation, hydrating and long wear foundation. So if you want to see this review, just keep on watching. Also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would deeply appreciate it if you would hit that red button below. And let's get started with this review. But first, before we try the foundation on, I have to prep my skin. Lately, I've been prepping my skin before foundation or a tinted moisturizer. I feel like primers, they do work, but I feel like the best method for your foundation to really work is just to prep your skin. And my hands are clean, so I'm going to show you how I prep my skin before foundation. I think prepping your skin is the key for your foundation to look amazing on your skin. Regardless if you have a dry or very oily or combo skin, I think if you prep your skin good with skincare, your foundation is going to apply and perform better than just with a primer. A couple weeks ago, I got a sample of the Cora Organics, and this is a turmeric glow moisturizer. Oh my god, I've been obsessed with this moisturizer. Super good to my skin, and I did get a little sample size, so it's just super small. And once I ran out of this sample size, I do have to get the big size because it's really good. I really like how it performs with my other foundation, so I'm gonna prep my skin first because I think prepping the skin is gonna help for your foundation to look good. Regardless, like I said, if you have combo, dry, or oily skin, as long as you prep your skin, your foundation will perform better. And after my moisturizer, I like to apply SPF, and this is the Clear Paula's Choice Ultra Light Daily Hydrating Fluid Spectrum 30. This SPF is very watery, which I like because it is very hydrating, but at the same time, if you let it sit, it just becomes really matte on your skin. So it is very it's very watery compared to other SPF, so I will just apply it liberally on my face because, you know, I want to protect the skin. I let the moisturizer and SPF sink into my skin, give it like a minute or two so it sink into my skin before applying foundation. So let me read you some of the claims of this foundation. So this foundation is the Les Beiges Foundation, which is a healthy glow foundation, hydrating and long wear foundation. It comes in a package like this, and then when you open up the bottle, it does come in a glass bottle and it has the logo inside there. And the shade that I chose was B10. And it does have a cap, so when you remove the cap, it does have a pump, which is nice of this foundation having a pump. So I bought this foundation in store, and I was swatching B10 and B20, and at the moment I thought I was going to go with B20. I felt like that one was going to be perfect for my skin, but they didn't have the B20 in stock, so I did end up buying the B10. And when I was there, I was swatching it on my arm, and then once I got home, I noticed that B20 actually oxidized a little bit, and B10 was gone. It didn't oxidize, so I'm really glad that I chose B10 because let's see if it's going to oxidize or what's going to happen with my skin. And let me read you some claims about this foundation. 35 shades, and it does cost $60, and you do get 1 fluid ounce of product. It is a very expensive foundation, but this foundation is supposed to be a light to medium foundation, and it says it's a light to medium coverage foundation that will last 12 hours. And their primary ingredient is water, so it's a very watery base foundation, so you definitely don't want to use a primer that it's like very oily or a silicone primer because it's not going to work with water. It's not going to mix well with water, but that's what it says. And enough rambling. Let's just test this foundation, and I think my skin is ready for the foundation. And to apply this foundation, I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics brush. It's a dual brush, and I'm going to apply this foundation. I'm going to go directly into my brush. Ooh, it's very smooth. Although it claims it's a water-based foundation, it's very thick because usually some foundations are very watery, but this one's very thick. So I'm gonna start applying it on here. I think I got a lot, and I got like 2 pumps. Oh my god, it smells so good. If you have tried the Chanel foundations, you know that Chanel foundation smell. It smells like that. So it has its classic smell, and it smells lovely. So I'm gonna apply this, and I did pump 2 pumps. My skin is very combo. I do have some dry patches, but my skin is very combo. I do tend to get a little bit oily on my T-zone and a little bit drying around my mouth. Okay, so this is basically with like 2 pumps, and with 2 pumps, that's what I use on my face. And I really like how it looks on my skin. It gave me like an even base to my skin without being too heavy. It feels very lightweight. You can still see some of my texture on my face. So of my acne coming through here, like some of my texture, but it doesn't look bad. I'm gonna get one more pump. So I'm gonna use this amount, and I'm just gonna apply it directly where I have those problematic areas. And I feel like I said, like I mentioned before, I think this foundation does oxidize a little bit because you can see the contrast between the foundation that I apply and then the new foundation that I'm applying. Okay, so this is how my skin looks, and I have to say I really like how my skin feels. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin, it does feel lightweight. I like how it looks on my skin. I like the glowiness of my skin, and I think too because I use the moisturizer and the SPF already, so my skin is glowing, and I really like how it looks on my skin. Although it looks very like, ooh, it's too much. It might look greasy, but trust me, it doesn't look like that. And also, it doesn't feel like that. It feels very lightweight. I really like how it looks on my skin. Although it didn't give me that much coverage on my dark spots and my acne, it didn't give me that coverage for that. For me personally, it doesn't matter. Nowadays, I really want my skin to breathe. I don't care if you could see my pores, my acne. I really don't care if you could see my texture, because in reality, we all have texture, and my skin definitely has texture. But I really like how that foundation looks. It looks very glowy, very luminosity. It looks very nice. It does give me like a very nice healthy glow. If you don't like tinted, I think this is more, it's not a tinted moisturizer, but it's a foundation that gives you a little bit more than a tinted moisturizer. And I really like how it looks on my skin. And definitely you could add powder to mattify this. I'm actually going to use just a little bit of powder, and I'm going to apply it on my area where I tend to get a little bit more oily. For that, I'm going to use my Shiseido translucent powder, and I'm going to use that, and I'm going to apply it where I tend to get a little bit oily throughout the day. I really like how natural it is, because nowadays I'm looking for foundations that are natural, that give me that really natural look. Let me apply a little bit of concealer. For concealer, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Concealer. I feel like we're using a very watery foundation, so definitely a matte concealer. It's going to like balance everything out. I'm just going to apply a little bit of that right here in the inner corner. Yeah, I think I did chose correctly on my shade, and I'm using shade B10, and definitely I have to say it did match my skin tone, and I really like how it looks on my skin. My skin just looks very glowy, very natural. It doesn't look cakey. It looks like I have highlighter on my cheeks. It looks very nice, which I like, which I prefer nowadays. I really like a lightweight, especially right now with summer. I really prefer glowy foundations, and I really like how this foundation looks on my skin. You can still see some of my textures, some of my pimples, but for me it doesn't matter. I really like how it looks on my skin. It looks really great, very glowy, very natural. I'm gonna quickly do my eyebrows and a little bit of eyeshadow, and I'll be right back so we could test some mascara and see how that works and see how the foundation is performing. I end up putting a little makeup, and for eyebrows I use the Goof Proof Brow Pencil by Benefit. I really like this pencil. It's super easy to fill in my eyebrows. For bronzer, I use the Bronze Goddess by Estee Lauder, and I use that in my, I use this as an eyeshadow and as a bronzer as well. It's such a really pretty color for the summer, so I use that as a bronzer and an eyeshadow. And for blush, I use the Nudies in the Nude by Nude Sticks. And then for my lips, I use the Il Maquillage lip liner, and this is in the shade Coffee, which I use on my lips. So it's a very natural, very neutral look today that I went with. And now it's time to test the mascara, and this is the Le Volume de Chanel Mascara in Tenure. I totally butcher that name, but they gave me a sample. I'm always super excited when they give me samples from Chanel. I always love trying new things. So it comes in a little tube like this. So I'm gonna curl my eyelashes because my eyelashes are really flat, so I need some volume. And I hate doing my eyelashes. Ugh. I need a new eyelash curler. So I'm gonna go. Ooh, this wand, and this is the Le Volume de Chanel mascara. So this is how the wand looks like. It's a very huge wand. See, it looks like this. So we're gonna try it out in our beautiful eyelashes. So definitely did give me like a little volume. It looks a little, this eye looks really good, but I always have a difficult time with this eye. This eye is very like my lazy eye. So let's see how this eye works. Especially because I'm left-handed, I always feel very difficult doing my eyeshadow. Let's see. Always finding difficult doing my mascara. I do have to say I really like the mascara. It did give me like some volume to my eyelashes, and it doesn't look clumpy to me because normally my eyelashes are very not the greatest, but it looks very good on my eyelashes. So is this foundation worth $60? Do you need this foundation? Do you really need this foundation? Personally I think it's up to you if you want to try this foundation. I really like this foundation. It looks very healthy, very glowy on my skin. I really like how it looks on my skin. Although you might think, oh my god girl, it looks very oily. I think it looks very nice because I know how my skin is going to perform throughout the day, and I'm definitely going to be testing this out throughout the day. So I'm going to leave some clips here so you can see how the foundation is looking in natural light and how it's looking throughout the day. But so far for me, I really like this foundation. I like how my skin looks. You can still see some of my texture. You can still see some of my dark spots. But for me personally, that doesn't matter. And I feel like it gave me like a natural highlight to my skin, and it worked well with my bronzer. It didn't give me like patchiness. It worked well with my cream blush. I really like how it looks on my skin, and I really like how it looks very natural on my skin, and I feel like it hasn't not oxidized on my skin, and I feel like it looks like my own skin but better. Like you could see, like definitely I did match correctly, and I chose B10. So the foundation that I used today was B10. I repeat, the foundation that I used today was B10, and I really like how it looks on my skin. It looks very glowy, very natural. I really like it. I think for the summer it's a perfect foundation, or even for the winter. If you have dry skin, I think you're gonna love this in the winter because it's really glowy, very natural, and it blends well. And I really like how you only need to use like 2 to 3 pumps if you want to give yourself a little bit more coverage. But I really like how this foundation works. So it's up to you if you want to spend those $60, but for me personally, I really enjoy this foundation. There's some foundations out there from Chanel that are not my favorite. Last year I did a review on one of the foundations, and I'm gonna leave it right here so you could click on it so you could watch it. That one was not my favorite. It was super mattifying, it did oxidize. It wasn't my favorite, but this one definitely, I really like it so far. So far I like this one. I really like how it looks on my skin. Like I said, I'm gonna leave some clips in here with natural lighting, and then I'm gonna leave clips here throughout the day. But so far I really like this foundation. I like how my skin looks. It looks very natural, very glowy, very healthy. It doesn't look cakey. It just looks very good on my skin, which I like. And I like how it easily blended on my skin, how it worked well with my products. And again, something that works for me, it might not work for you, or something that works for you might not work for me. But I personally love this foundation, especially because it's a water-based foundation, so it's gonna give you more hydration. And for the summer right now, you really want your skin to be glowy, be plump, and I really like how it looks on my skin. So I hope this review was helpful for you in deciding whether or not you want to purchase this foundation. And if you're new here to my channel, hello, my name is Paulina, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe on my channel. And if you have any foundations recommendations that you want me to review on my channel, just leave them below. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.